Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, once again, thank you for joining us tonight on this stream. Some people say I sound tired. I am tired, but I just need to take care of this because a few things are piling up on me. Like I said, I'm trying to spread myself back out again, do other content. Like I said, I wanted to once again start doing my fun channel once again, my Ratchet Video Weekly channel. If you've never seen that, that channel was started from long time ago when I just wanted a break from the monotony of this channel. This channel really weighs down on you. It's a lot of negativity. Unfortunately, it's a lot of negative people show up here. Along with that, unfortunately, I wish we can keep all the good positive people, but you just have that element. So, I take my time off from this channel at times and do other things. It's more to the life than just this particular channel. We also have our Advice Show Media channel. We try to put things there. We have a lot of classic videos there dating all the way back to, I think, 2011 or something like that. So if you aren't subscribed to at least those three channels all together with this one, the Ratchet Video Weekly channel and the Advice Show Media channel, make sure you subscribe. On the Ratchet Video Weekly channel, I don't want to hear nothing on that channel about racism. I don't want to hear about white supremacy. I don't hear nothing about nothing but just having fun. If I hear any of that, I'll block you real quick because that's not the place for that. You want to do all that arguing about that mess, do it here on my other channel, and that's just that. I gotta have to kind of separate myself from some things sometime. I like to have fun. I like to keep a smile on my face, and that's just part of what I like to do, right? Also, on top of all of that, I definitely want to, as I stated earlier, maybe you couldn't hear me. Some people was asking questions. Hey, do you have do you have the actual time you're leaving and you're flying out to Ethiopia, or are you just raising money? I said, no, we actually do have the time we're flying out. We have our itinerary. On the 15th of August, 12:30 a.m. we're flying out of LAX to start heading toward Ethiopia. So no, that trip is already set. We just have to finish. We about halfway on our fundraising, and if some people don't know about it, it is about, hold on, I think we're about 50. Where are we at? I think maybe about 50 some more percent, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so we have our link that we've been putting in the description box, and we're going to go there. There's so many things we're going to do. We're going to cover, yes, the Ascenda Festival, yes, but we're also going to cover the different places people live to show you that it's not a poop hole like Donald Trump and others like to say. We want to show you the historical churches, the original churches actually that Christianity came out of. It was out of Ethiopia. We're going to definitely show you how the people are. I want to cover the nightlife. I want to cover everything I can to give you a well-rounded view of that country. And I want to do a good job, like I say, and represent that country very well and make friends with them. That's what we are about. We're coming as ambassadors of the Black community, Black American community. So we want to make sure that we do a very, very good job in the process. I'm very taking this extremely serious. I know I'm representing myself, but anywhere we go, we represent the family because it's not too many people from here that go to those different African countries. And, from what I'm learning, they want to build with us. They really don't want to build with a colonizer. And that's what we need to focus on. We need to have our imprint in Africa ourselves. And some of us, don't want to go, and some of us make excuses to stay with the colonizer, and that's fine. Even when slavery ended, there were Black people that did not want to leave Massa. They said that, Master, we'd rather stay with you. What are we going to do? Trust me, there was plenty of slaves that wanted to stay with the slave master. So it's not surprising when you have Black people that say they don't want to go to no Africa this, Africa that, what I'm going to do over there. It's the same thing. And when you have those Black people that talk like that, it's the same ones that will stay with the slave master under slavery, even though the slave master saying, look, you're free, you got to go, you can't stay here. That's the same ones. And when it comes to those Black people, we have to wash our hands with them. Don't argue with them. Don't try to convince them. Don't do anything. Let them stay with Massa. That's what they want to do. They're grown. They can make up their mind. But I want to thank everyone who has donated so far to that particular project. I think we have maybe 130 some odd people that have donated so far. And this is the thing about that too. And I'm going to make a video on Patreon talking about something else when it comes to donating. Give me a second. You don't need an army of people to do anything. And some people think in the Black community, we need an army of people to make changes, or army of people. It's just one thing that I saw, and I'm going to show it to you guys on Patreon, where Black people had less than 9,000 Black people or so raised $10 million to do something. It's about $10 million to do something. And notice I said less than 9,000. Man, I don't know why I'm thirsty today. For real. Think about that. What if we had 9,000 Black people in every city, or maybe 1,000 Black people in every city? For the Hurricane Relief Fund, when we raised $15,000, it was only like 340 some odd people that donated to that. And it was like we raised $15,000 doing that. What if we had in every city 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in our community that say we gonna put this money in and make a change all over the community? We're gonna build businesses. We're gonna build schools. Like, you don't need a lot of people to make a change. You don't need 40 some odd million people to do anything. It'd be great. We have that. Well, you don't need that. That's why I say sometimes it frustrates me, because our liberation is in our own hands, and yet we don't do anything as even a small group. My thing is, I tell people, give me a small group of people. Give me 3,000 people, that amount of people that's ready to go to make change. You could do it a lot with that many people willing to step in and get the work done. Now, of course, like when we were discussing things today, some things we don't discuss on the internet. We don't. And certain moves I would never discuss on the internet. Some things we need to discuss behind closed doors, no cameras, no cell phones, no nothing. Make certain plans for the community and execute those plans. But everything takes money. And you know good and well you can't go ask them folks for money to benefit you, but we can do it ourselves. So why aren't we doing it? And I think it's very simplistic. And like I said, I'll talk about it a little bit more on Patreon, what I was looking at. But it's so simplistic to fix our problems. I mean, we make our problems so complex, and they're not as complex as you think they are. Sometimes they're just very simple solutions. We just not doing them, and that's what makes it complex, is that we're not doing simple things. We don't need no deep thought to solve the majority of our problems. Most of our problems, like I say, are economic. And like I say, we know that most of our money go out our hands within 6 hours. But what if we had those core people in every city, in every state, to make a change for our community, so our children will be subjected to racism in school? So we have businesses, so we don't have to be subjected to what goes on in different, businesses. And like when I was at a Black-owned coffee shop today, we sat there for hours, and nobody put us out. Nobody called the police. Nobody did anything. We was fine at a Black-owned coffee shop today. We had to worry about the Starbucks situation. Yeah, Starbucks got a policy now that you can sit there, whatever, in writing, and you don't have to buy nothing. But it took a big fiasco for that to happen. Like I said, we shouldn't be putting up with that. How is it that, and I'm gonna get to this video, but how is it that you have Koreatown and Chinatown and all these different divisions in these different cities where they're writing and everything in American cities that your tax dollars go to, but Black people can't have nothing. And the reason why we can't have anything is because we don't want to come together as a people. We so jealous of each other. We always looking at what this one doing right, what this one doing wrong, how this one talk, how this one dress, what he look like, what she look like. I mean, there's so many different things people look at, and nothing is getting done in the Black community. And then people say, well, why people leave and go to white areas when they're more so middle class? And I wouldn't say white areas. I would say areas that's a little bit more opportunity. Well, if we actually had the same opportunities and built our opportunities where we lived, you wouldn't see those who are getting a little bit more in their finances leaving the communities. So, we definitely do need to talk more about that, because, we easily give our money to everybody else. I saw a picture, I think Brother Derek posted today. Was it Brother Derek? or somebody that showed a picture that stated that it's $162 billion in this picture. And it was a picture of Warren Buffett and it was a picture of Bill Gates. And it said not one Gucci belt is on them. And they look like they were wearing some Walmart specials, both of them. But yet they're billionaires. But when it come to us, we Gucci belt, Gucci this, and we don't have two nickels to rub together. And our community is, literally dying. And we could fix it with our own hand. And yet we don't do that. So that's just, that's just, you say, see, that's an excuse. That's an excuse. And you have Africa, but some of you don't want to go. You don't want to join. If you would actually take some money and say, let's put together $20,000, let's put together $100,000 and let's go to African nations and do business with them like the Chinese is doing. See, our money goes so far in Africa. It's not even funny. Have you actually did the exchange rate on some money? You haven't done it. Just on Google, just do the exchange rate on different countries. Kenya, see how much the money, American dollars go in South Africa, Ghana or whatever. They want to do business with us, but we need to come over there with money in hand to do some business. The white man not gonna save you. He can't save himself. And that's a big problem with black folks. You want the white man to save you. It's not his job to save you. It's not. So why is it? And it's the thing, when those certain black people get together and those certain black people do things for themselves, and you wonder why they get to a point like, man, I ain't trying to help them. You wonder why, because we have so much negativity in the community. It's always an excuse. Well, this one got Korea and they got China and you got Africa. You got Africa. So what's the problem? You just don't want to go. You don't want to take a chance and say, why not? Oh, Glamby, you say you got your passport in March? Okay, cool. Okay, you say you've been to Kenya 3 times and you say 75 to 80 shillings per dollar? Exactly. Now, see, you see that. Now, what if you took $100,000 to Kenya and say, you know what, I'm about to really start some businesses right here in Kenya with $100,000. Let's say the family got together and we raised $50,000, $100,000, and now we're going over there to set up some businesses right there in Kenya. The Chinese are doing it. Everybody else is doing it. But black Americans, we don't have no footprint in the continent. And this wasn't even my message tonight. But still, it just get on my nerves, the excuses that we have. It's too many excuses. It's excuses that we don't have a freaking passport. $110 and what, maybe with photo, $150, I guess, everything wrapped up. It's excuse. But we got Jordans, we got Gucci belts, we got everything else. We got that. We got the new iPhone. We got everything. But we don't have a passport. Yeah, I saw that. And let me tell y'all something. I've been looking at condos in different African nations because I just want to make sure I have my exit strategy. Y'all can play with this country if you want to, but I'm going to make sure I have my exit strategy that way I could take myself and my family and carry my happy self on to Africa, because I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know. I don't want nothing to happen here, but I don't want to have I'm stuck and I have no options. If you got properties and you got, okay, Glam Bell says she paid $152 for her passport. There you go. And that's less than a pair of Jordans. That's less than a pair of a whole lot of things that you guys buy. You say Xavier, well, you need to get your passport too. Everybody need their passport. Everybody. Your children need your passport. They need it. Everybody need one. Oh, so you say $100 in Nigeria is like 36,000? Well, yeah. It's exactly. Why can't we go over there and make business? Oh, here we go. Well, you know what? You figure that out. Everybody, it's like, Jesus Christ. Saying you Hebrews ain't solving nothing, man. We Hebrews, we this. And we still in the crap that we're in. Well, it's because of the curses. Like, man, no, it's because we need to do for ourselves. That's why. God ain't going to do everything for you. God says this. He give you 5 senses. If you in your right mind, you can walk, you can talk. He waiting on you to do something. Why you waiting on him? Maybe if you do something, he'll help you out. Yeah, I got the card too. I got my passport and my passport card. I mean, if you want, I'm not saying nothing about Hebrews, because when I go to Ethiopia, I'm definitely gonna try to talk to the Ethiopian Jews, because that's something original. Of course, I want to talk to them, but you know, it's like here in America, we always want this identity, and we ain't doing crap as black folk. We call ourselves everything, but we have no progress. Okay, well, if you say America is not a nation, it's a system, then, you know, we need to go on and make sure that we are connected to the continent. We need to make sure. Ghana is one country that their government has definitely made a way where we could come over there and actually get acclimated and also eventually become a citizen. That's what we want to do. There's a lot of African Americans that have moved to Ghana. So what if you work hard, you get this American education? Because when you go to Africa with an American education, you already set above when you step in. Like, they look at you as an American as like, man, you know, you top of the line black folk. That's how they look at you when you go out there. And you don't want to go out there, but over here, no matter how much education you have out here, unfortunately, I'm just going to say what it is. You're still a nigga. No matter how much education you have. You can have 3 doctorate degrees. To this country, you're still a nigga. It's just that simple. But what if you take your doctorate degrees and go start some businesses, or, you know, you want to move over there? That's fine. Nobody's saying you got to move there and never come back. Nobody's saying that. Shoot, live in both places. I've seen people that stay over there for about 3-4 months at a time, come back here a couple of months, go back, but they establish themselves enough to do that. Oh, yes, I've thought about it. It's not no thought. I'm going to do it. I just got to find the right country that will be good enough for me to do that in. Yeah, Ghana definitely has welcomed us. That's for sure. But let me get to this video. So they had this video, and I got in a tangent. They have a video of this black young man. I'm gonna get into talking about black men too. He's in there with his girlfriend, and they're just shopping. So you got this Caucasian Baltimore cop that's gonna come up to this brother and just harassing him. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this video.
I'm just asking.
94.
What
Like I
made
said,
you
I think you might have a warrant.
Why
so I
would
gotta
you
check.
Make you think? What made you think?
Right, why would you just stop
I'm just
him
saying,
and ask
why
him
would you
that?
make?
Because I've dealt with you before.
So what do that mean? You think I got a warrant then?
Yeah, exactly. So just stand by.
This harassment. Record this.
It is.
I'm taking this to the police. This is harassment.
It's not harassment. It's called me doing my job.
No,
It's
you
not,
don't just
because
stop
I'm walking in
nobody
the
and
store,
say, do they
just
got
stop it.
one?
There's plenty of people walking in the store that you never stop.
Put your voice down.
How
Nah,
can you
what
just
is
walk
this
up on
harassment?
somebody and say that?
I want to talk to you. I want to talk to a supervisor.
You need to
too.
stand there
I need
and
your badge number. I need your badge number.
This
I
is
hope your
harassment.
camera on.
No, it's not. Yeah, it is one.
This is harassment. You just
Because
stopping
stopped
somebody
me
asking
and
something.
said,
Stop talking
Why
loud
are
in
you in
public.
his face
What,
like
you gonna punch me in my
that?
face?
Why are you
I'm
in
telling
his
you,
face
keep your
like
voice
that?
down in public
Okay,
so I
but
can do
why
my
are you
job.
in his face like
I'm walking
that?
in the store. He said, like, I got one.
Keep your voice
Why
down.
are you in his
Why are
face?
you
It
in
don't
my face?
matter.
Keep your voice down.
Record this. Why
I
are you in
am.
my face?
I am.
I'm coming in the store with my fiance. He said I look like somebody who have a
Right.
warrant.
How can you just do that?
He can't do that.
Just let you know, Moni, they're recording, okay?
Yeah,
He
me
can't
too.
do that. That's harassment. Then you get on my face like that. I ain't disrespect that. That's too much.
Calm down, it's okay.
That's and I record that.
I already did.
No, I'm pressing charge. I want his badge
He's
number.
probably recording too.
I want his badge number. I want his badge number.
Just give us a few minutes, okay?
I want his badge number.
Give us a few
4742.
minutes.
don't have no warrants.
If you don't, then you can walk away.
I want your badge number because I'm reporting you. You just got in my face for no reason that was disrespectful.
Because you're
John.
yelling in a public store.
But
Why
I
can't he come in
in
the public
school.
store? You the one
You
who
the one
pulled him
causing
up.
the disturbance.
You're right. You need to back
No,
up.
record that.
For
You
what?
can't just
What
stop
about-
talking
that's my
like that.
Back up.
husband.
She record. She ain't gotta go nowhere.
Yes, she does.
No, she don't. Record.
I'm recording.
She don't gotta go nowhere.
She's not part of this.
She is.
I am.
This is my wife. She don't gotta go ahead. Record it. I want his badge number after this.
I already told you.
John, just be quiet. Let him just
Write that
run his,
badge
or
number.
let him just
What
write
is
his
it? What's your badge number? What's your badge number?
I just told you.
What is it?
4742.
I told you 3 times, buddy.
What is it? What's your badge number?
I told you 3 times. How hard is that?
I'm trying to write it down.
Okay.
So what is it?
4742.
4742. What's your name?
Right there. On
All
my
right.
tag.
Record that.
Yeah.
That's harassment.
Because why? You checking
No, because you just got.
Why
in my
do you,
face
you
and
what
did all
what
that
caused
crazy.
that you had the
You
probable
told
cause
me.
to do that, to just pull up?
You're not a
So why
lawyer,
you
back
ain't
up.
ask me did I have a
can't.
warrant?
I didn't
Why
ask
you
you.
ain't ask me?
So why you ain't ask
Why
him
not?
do he got one?
Why didn't you ask
they
me?
walking right there. Why you ain't ask her do she
Yeah,
got
why
one?
didn't you ask
Why
me?
you ain't ask them do they
I
got
might got
one?
Because
one.
they weren't in court the other day.
So what you? I didn't miss court. You was
He
there.
ain't miss court.
You was there with
That's
me.
what I'm checking.
You
You was there.
lying.
Okay, folks.
He was just in court
Stop
with
yelling
me.
in a public store.
I'm taking this to
I'm not
court.
going to tell you again.
This harassment.
No, you're causing disturbance.
You're harassing me
You're disturbing
because
the
you.
John,
customer.
just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just be quiet.
Sorry, 713 29.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now you saw that BS. Came and shop in the store without a black man being harassed. Let me tell you something, especially the black men that's listening. Never compare yourself to any man in this country. No other race of man is in your position. No other race of man is the enemy. Okay, we are the enemy. They don't worry about Asian men. They don't worry about Latino men like they worry about us. They don't worry about Arab men. They don't worry about any other man that you could think of in this country. We are the only group of men that they worry about. So that's why I'm not even keen to listen to comparisons about other men in relation to black men. I'm also not keen to listen to comparisons about black men in relation to other men because they don't have our story. As a group of people, of course, but just as black men, they don't have our story. No other race of man in this country has been just lynched, had his penis cut off and put in his mouth off of the word of a white woman. Every time black men built towns, black men, I mean, the women helped, but the men themselves did most of the work. They still had the skilled trades from slavery to do all the building. And unfortunately, a lot of us don't have those skilled trades anymore. We haven't taught that, unfortunately. Carpentry, plumbing, electrical, all things that skilled trades that we need to build something. Every time we built something, they came and destroyed. They didn't go destroy other people's stuff. They destroyed ours. I'm not saying they didn't harass others. I'm not saying they didn't lynch other people. But I'm saying we are the only ones they worry about. We are the ones they plant drugs in our communities to harm who? Black men. We are the ones they create a crime bill for to mass incarcerate who? Black men. I mean, this is what they do constantly, 24/7 to black men. We don't get a break. We don't get relief. Everybody got something to say about the black man. It is a miracle that we halfway sane, most of us, okay? Because with this harassment, you go into the store just trying to shop, and here come this race soldier bothering, and you see he was just being a dick for one. I know he was racist for two, but he was laughing about the things that he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. And then we have to sit here and hold ourselves back because this cat got the power to kill you and get away with it. We have to hold ourselves back. Well, this guy is nothing but a coward. You know, he wouldn't tell you 2 words on the street without that badge. We know the majority of them, you know, they mentioned in the word around here, beta male. No, they are the king beta males. That's who they are. We are the original alpha male. We are the ones that's why they want us dead. That's why they worry about the straight alpha black male. We are the target. They don't worry about the Don Lemons of the world. That's compromise. They cool with Don Lemon. If you be in Don Lemon, you'll get on TV, you'll get move up, all kinds of things, you be Don Lemon. But when you're a straight alpha male, you're the one they want to kill. It don't matter if you got a girlfriend or not. It don't matter what shade of a girl you got. Is she black? It don't matter if you got a girl that's not even black. You still the enemy. You will never escape being a black man, especially a straight alpha black man. They're trying to destroy you even when you were a little boy in school, trying to get you in trouble, try to get you suspended constantly, trying to ruin your name. You don't never get no love from nowhere. Everybody criticizes you. If you didn't have a father around, you're looking for a father figure. Sometimes dudes go on the street with that, unfortunately. Some of us grew up that, unfortunately, because the dad is just not around, and it's just this constant theme, and we have to also address that while a lot of our brothers, are making children and not being there for, children. And like I said, this has happened within my own family as well. So it's not like I don't know anything about that. Some of these guys are just sorry. It's not the criminals. They just sorry with their children. And we have to be there for our kids so they won't repeat the same thing. But, as black men, everybody got something to say about us. If it's not the police worrying about what we got going on, it's white society worrying about what we going on. We never could do anything right. If we do something good, that's not even spoken about. No matter how great we are as black men, we will never get the credit. Okay. It is hard being a black man in America. It is extremely hard. I wish we had the luxury. I remember one day I was watching this and I said, man, this is crazy. I was driving home about 4 a.m. and they had this white guy. He was jogging. He was just exercising, just doing his thing. And when I saw him jogging, and I said to myself, it must be nice to be free to do that. Because imagine as a black man, you're jogging 4 o'clock in the morning, you want to get a morning jog in. And then if you're jogging, what's going to happen to you? A cop see you jogging. Oh, he must be running from a robbery. Or some white person see you jogging. Oh, I think he robbed something. And then you got about 30 cop cars coming when you're trying to do a morning jog, maybe, with your dog or something like that. See, we don't have that freedom to go jog 3, 4 in the morning like they do. You can see white women doing that, jogging, or, when they come to different neighborhoods, they just start jogging. They just have a carefree life. They don't think about crime. They don't think about anything. But us as black people, we got to think about the cops harassing us. Well, I don't want to run. How many times black men have been jogging and the cop pull them over? They clearly in workout clothes. They don't have nothing on them. They got the earphones in their ears, but yet, oh, well, you look suspicious. This is what a black men go through in this country. You can't have the simple things that we're not even thinking about. We got to watch how we dress. We got to watch how we speak. If we express ourselves, it scares everybody. Oh, you're getting too loud. So you scared of somebody's voice. So we gotta, this is something they always want you to take the bass out your voice as a black man. They want you to be docile and want you to be safe and they would love for you to talk like Carlton Banks and then they would be happy with you. They love for you to dress like Carlton Banks and they'll be happy with you. Weak and docile. That's what they want. They do not want a strong alpha black male who's out here, definitely, with a family, making children, making moves. They don't want to see that. That's more threatening to them than Pookie and Ray Ray. They ain't worried about Pookie and Ray Ray. They got jails that built for Pookie and Ray Ray. But when it comes to us as straight alpha black males, we are the target. We are the target. Completely the target. Do black women go through things? Yes, they do. Yes, they discriminate against. Yes, they've been through everything that we've been through, but at the end of the day, the white power structure isn't afraid of black women. They're afraid of the straight black male. And we as black men need to come together and realize that, accept that, and then figure out different strategies, because if we don't come together as men, put aside the jealousy, put aside the differences, because in this system, they are on one accord to say you're the enemy. They're all on one accord about that. none of them are thinking different when it comes to you being the enemy. This is who you are. And don't make an enemy within your own community. And that's what we have been doing as well. It's enough we dealing with them, with that cop that you see in the video. He's one of many. That kind of cop right there would kill a black man in a second if he could have got away with it. They love to do that. They get their rocks off by killing black men, especially young black men. You remember when I had Officer Serrano on the show? They want to target young black men between the ages of 14 and 20. We say 23, 24. That young stage. Think about that. They want to take out our young black men. Young black men that's very early working age. They very high, and they could productivity with making children as well. Because they can't make kids. The eggs can't stick to the walls of the female's uterus, and then they also have the lowest sperm count, the lowest testosterone rate. But us as black men, we have the highest testosterone rate naturally. Higher testosterone definitely helps with your sperm production as well. Also affects sex drive, and black men, how that goes. So we definitely are the threat. We are the threat. No matter what somebody else tell you, we are the threat. Now, speaking about threat, I just thought about something today. I don't know if you guys saw CNN. I'm trying to figure out the moves that Trump is making. I don't know if you saw recently he had pardoned the sister that was supposed to be in jail for life. And that's great. That's great. And I'm not, when he pardoned that sister, and I saw she was so happy to get out of jail. Listen, any black man or woman that's locked up in jail, I don't want to see them, especially the charges that she was in there for. Like, come on. So when I seen that sister just extremely happy with her family, she was just happy, okay? I see so many black people that are so negative about that. Like, why are you being so freaking negative? Like, a black person can't get one thing without negativity. Oh, well, there's a lot of other people in jail too. Like, of course they are. Well, let's celebrate with her and then work on the other people. There's so many different things I've seen with that story that got on my nerves. It's like, why are we so freaking negative? We are such negative people at times. I can't deal with negativity. Then the Kim Kardashian thing. Okay, 1 minute the argument is, well, see, these white women, because y'all call her white, even though she's Armenian, but you call her white. These white women get with these black men and they don't do crap. They don't help the black community. They just suck up all the resources, suck up the money, and then take the money and use it for the white community when they die. I'm going to touch that too. But then the woman actually go over there with Trump. She didn't like Trump. I remember with her situation, she was a Hillary supporter. She supported Hillary Clinton. She spoke for Hillary Clinton. She tweeted about Hillary Clinton. She was all Hillary. She wasn't a Trump supporter. For some reason, she went over there with Trump and hollered at Trump about that sister, and Trump, whatever the case, let her out. Now, people were attacking her for that. I'm like, y'all complain that the white woman ain't doing nothing to help black people with you marrying them and having black kids. Now she go out and try to help a black person, which she should have been doing a long time ago, of course. But hey, if you start going down the road doing it, fine. Okay, well, why attack the woman for? I don't get it. If she trying to help black people, she talking about Centoria Brown is the other one she's trying to help. If she trying to free other black people out of jail, then why not? I don't get it, because let's call it what it is. We got all these rappers running around that's been to jail. It's not advocating for no black people to get out of jail. Let's call that what it is. I'm talking about black people that's been locked up. These rappers know how jail is. Many of them been there. And you don't hear these rappers talking about, I'm talking about brothers that's saying, hey, we need to get so-and-so out. I want to advocate for so-and-so, putting in their music or whatever. And yet she went over there with him and did that. You know, I'm not saying she's the holy grail and she's the queen of civil rights. No. But I'm like, take it as it is, man. Like, encourage. Maybe if you say, man, Kim, man, good looking out. That's all you got to say. Good looking out. You ain't worshiping a chick, but good looking out. Maybe she'll say, you know what? That feel good. I want to go do some more. That's what you want to encourage, because whether you like the girl or not, she got a platform. And a lot of black folks, especially a lot of black men and women, like her. So why don't she should use her platform to help black people. She's been leeching off of black people for how many years already? She really owe that. Kim owe that at that point. So if that's what she want to do, and she went speak to Trump, somebody she never supported, to get it done, it is what it is. You know, yes, I know Trump did the Jack Johnson thing, and that's fine too. That's what he want to do. But the main thing I heard with Trump today, and I want to see if any NFL player call his bluff. So he comes out and put out an article. Well, the article came out today saying that Trump said for every NFL player that took a knee, he wants to know somebody that he can pardon, because he don't want them to keep taking a knee if he could help the situation. That's what he said. He wants to pardon people. Now, I know what Trump is doing. It's two things Trump is doing. One, Trump's trying to get the black vote. He wants to win, and he know he need the black vote to do it. So Trump is going to do a whole lot of things probably in the next 2 years that's going to get a lot of black people say, wow, I didn't know he would do that. Two, he wants to show Obama up. And he wants black folks to say, man, Trump got in there and he did more for black people than Obama. Obama didn't do crap for black people. That's the two things that Trump want to hear, because Trump, he's a narcissist. That's what he want to hear. But at the same time, it don't matter if you like the man or don't like the man, if you can get something out of him. Because remember with Dr. King, Lyndon Johnson didn't like black folk. He used the N-word a lot. He said that about Martin Luther King, that no N-word should be having that much power. Because, you know, King literally was controlling black folks. Literally. Well, they had to call him to the White House to talk to King, to talk to black people. That's how powerful Dr. King was at one point in time. That civil rights bill, it's not that he wanted to do that. He kind of had to do that. So the situation with, let's say with Trump, call his bluff. Let's see what he say. You know, is he going to release some people? I would love for the NFL people to say, hey, start mentioning some of these political prisoners. Why? I hope one of them go up there and say, hey, why don't you pardon Assata Shakur? You know, call his bluff. And if he's not going to do nothing, keep taking the knee. That's what I would do to him. He couldn't call my bluff like that. Cause I mentioned Assata so quick just to see what he say. Because that'll put him in a pickle if you mention Assata. Because if he do it or whatever, he's going to piss a lot of white folks off for pardoning her. You know, you have so many Panthers that's still locked up. It's a lot. If these brothers were smart, they would mention all these people that's from the 60s that's still locked up, different political prisoners, and see if he want to let them go. Because it's easy to let somebody go on some drug charges. But the ones that really, you know, put in work, they got locked up. Well, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he pardoned Marcus Garvey either, because what he wants to do is, like I told you, he wants to be labeled as, you know, like he was the best. That's what he wants. You know, I'm peeping this game. I'm gonna tell you something else they doing. Black people, do not be surprised if you start seeing a lot of Republicans coming your way, conservatives coming your way. They know you're pissed off. Oh, they know you're pissed off. I'm telling you ahead of time. I know. They know you're pissed off. I've been told today myself, they coming my way too. They know you're pissed off at the Democratic Party. They know you angry because they have rejected you. They know that they have they replaced you with illegal immigration. They know that. They know. So they definitely gonna be coming at you about a whole lot of things and say, hey, why don't you vote for us and all that Candace Owens stuff. Oh, they coming. You saying that, but they coming your way. They're not gonna send the David Dukes of the world to come holler at you. They're not gonna do that. They gonna holler at, get people that's talking your language to holler at you. You know, I heard a mention that he talked about legalizing marijuana. I heard a mention of that, but I don't really care, Darlene, what he is. If he was to give me something I wanted, that's all I care about. See, people have to understand, you don't supposed to like people. It's like business. You don't have to like people in business. All you have to do is go get what you want out of them. You need to finesse people. That's it. We need to get out of liking personalities. So if let's say we mention a subject like mass incarceration, or we mention a subject like when these brothers and sisters got out of jail, they shouldn't be discriminated against for getting jobs. It should be illegal. And let's say if Trump wants to do that and sign a deal where nobody can discriminate, or they get a law passed, nobody can discriminate against people coming out of prison. I don't care what he says. Like when people say about, oh, well, racism, like, man, racism is going to be here way after that dude gone. This country is built on racism. That is the pillar of this country. We have to learn as black people, stop liking everybody and get what we want out of people. Because we had all these so-called people like Bill Clinton. Black people loved him. They say, oh, he was the first black president. I don't know if y'all remember that. He was playing a saxophone on Arsenio Hall's show. Comedians say, yeah, he black because he was smoking weed and all this other stuff that comedians were saying about Bill Clinton. Oh, yeah, Bill Clinton was just going around black folks. He did a lot more things than Hillary did. Trust me, he did. And what happened? The crime bill. What happened? Mass incarceration of many, many black men. And now the problem that we have with black boys and black men now can date back to that so-called first black president, calling a white man the first black president. This is what they were doing. I'm young enough to remember that. Well, some people say about immigration, the immigration thing is getting out of hand. I will say that it's starting to get just a little out of hand. And with black people, these different people come in, they have a hatred for us. That's the thing. Not all. I don't want to say all, but the thing is, these white-owned companies are hiring them over you too, because some people will say, well, they're doing the jobs that we don't want to do. I can tell you right now, I know someone who owns a construction company. Okay. He told me out of his own mouth that he hires illegals. Now, black people have always done construction jobs. I remember that. If you couldn't get a job, go work construction. And those construction jobs is always available in this kind of area, anywhere that you have a lot of refineries and they have a lot of shutdowns. Those of you who work in the industry, you know what I'm talking about. They are hiring illegals to do those jobs. That's why ICE now is going to different plants and checking people, because they're actually hiring illegal immigrants to do construction jobs, because these business owners don't want to pay what an American should be paid. And this is the thing. If this is why all of them are full of ish, because we have laws on the books to say if you're a business that's knowingly hiring illegal immigrants, that is a federal crime. See, they rather build a wall than lock up these white people that's hiring all these illegal immigrants too. If you start locking up all these white people who's knowingly hiring them, then it will stop that from happening. Then it would create, definitely more jobs, for us to have in the community. But you have situations in California where your son or daughter can't get a summer job unless they speak Spanish. Or wait a minute, the first language of the U.S. is English. It'd be like if we went to Mexico, we can't demand they speak English. It has to be Spanish. So I mean, like, come on. I mean, like, black people in California, 6% of the population, and they're losing out and they having to leave. They're literally making an exodus out that state. I mean, it was a high cost of living anyway before all that happened. But I mean, come on. And then most of the people, they're not coming from Mexico. Most of them are coming from Central America. Most of them are. And they're leaving countries because you have gangs running, cartels running the place. So they run into the U.S. To try to escape that. But that's not all, unfortunately, we can't solve everybody's problems, because when we have problems right here in the U.S. as black people. And we pay a lot of taxes and nobody gives us sympathy. Like I said, we got brothers right now that's locked up in jail for nonviolent offenses, being slaves, working for free. That's not right. We have so many problems, here that we need to solve. And like I said, I don't have a hatred for nobody. I don't. But at the end of the day, I mean, other groups want their situation. Now, I got put on game today that how we not even at the table when decisions are being made. Like, we not even having a voice. And then the so-called Congressional Black Caucus that's supposed to be our voice, they don't even show up either. So we have nobody speaking for black people in our issues. But what I found out today, I mean, I didn't know this. They have something called the Latino Coalition, and then they go speak up for the situation in their community, which they should. And they speak about illegal immigrants as well. But they're at the table of everything, and we're not at the table speaking up for us and demanding our rights and demanding what's going on in our community. And that's why we get passed over. We don't even be at the table nowhere. Everybody making these decisions, but we not even there to speak up for our community. And I'm sitting up there, I'm being put on so much game about this stuff today when I was having this meeting, and I'm like, really? I'm just, I was like, it's like that bad? I'm like, we that bad off? Because all our politicians are bought and paid for. All of them. All of them. They ain't now one, I can tell you, in the Congressional Black Caucus, they ain't bought and paid for. Because when that Farrakhan situation happened, that was the litmus test right there to tell you which ones was bought and paid for. When they scurrying around saying, I don't know Farrakhan, and then they putting out pictures that he's taking pictures with all of them, but they all talking about they don't agree with him, and they like, really? You took pictures with the man. You agree with him enough to be in his face? That all of them that they trying to push, they trying to push the they're talking about, oh, what if Kamala Harris run? No, that's Obama Part 2.0. Cory Booker, that's Obama 2.0 too. I mean, they can't really relate to. It's nothing against them; they just can't. Like I said, if I see another one come through there, I want to see them with two black parents as descendants of slaves here in America, and two that's gonna really fight for the community. And some of our issues could really be everybody's issues, but it really can help, us. Like you say with the prison reform thing and making sure people are not discriminated against when they come out of prison. You can fight for that, and that really benefits everybody. But it really will benefit us, definitely in particular. Education-wise, the teachers, all these wars we're fighting. All that is not a benefit to us. But we got to get to the table where decisions are made. We can't just be. That's why we get screwed. That's why we get screwed. That's why the Democratic Party don't do nothing for you. That's why they just want your votes, and then when it comes to decision making, they don't say nothing. Then you got people like over here, Al Green and Sheila Jackson Lee. They got mouths, but when it's time to make some decisions for black folks right here in Houston, nothing changes. How is the same people keep going back? Like how? And they don't do nothing for black people. Like, I don't get it. The same people, they keep going back. 30 and 40 years, they're in the same position and nothing changed in the community for black folk. We got to get all these congressional black caucus. They all need to go. Every last one of them needs to go. We need some fresh faces, some younger brothers and sisters who's of age, who's smart, who got some great ideas and going to fight for the community. All of them got to go. That's what we need to do as black people. They got to go. They're not benefiting us. I'm sick of that. Black people always being trampled on. Black people's concerns are always at the bottom. And you can't even say it's at the bottom because because when you're at the bottom, at least eventually they get to you. They don't even get to you. They like, I ain't worrying about them black folks. And that's why we always stuck in a position. And that's why other groups come in and they get seats at the table when decisions are being made. And that's why they look further down on you. Like because a seat at the table when power moves are made, right? It shows that you got some sort of power to wield, and that's why you at the table. So if everybody else there and you're not there, that's why they look down on you like, shh, don't listen to them. They're not even at the table where decisions are being made. Why am I gonna respect black folks? Please. Because power only respects power completely. And we have the greatest power in the world, but we just don't organize it enough and utilize it completely to our advantage. And then when you get there, you don't start shucking and jiving with them folks. Look, you go there as a man or woman on a mission and say, look, I'm here to represent my people. Like, I don't care about what y'all got going on. I want to know what's going to happen with black folk. And that's my mantra. I don't want to hear you don't tell me about no minorities. Because when you mention minorities, we don't get nothing. I don't want to hear that diversity because we don't get nothing with diversity either. I want to hear what you're going to do specifically for black people. Because like that video we just saw, that's not happening to every man in this country. White men ain't being harassed like that in the store. They're not. So don't come tell me nothing. But no, I want to know what's going to happen with police brutality. What's going to happen with all planting drugs on black people, planting dirty guns. What's going to happen with marijuana? That's what I want to know. You said Maxine Waters. Some of y'all say Phil run and not give him 2 cows. Well, hey, don't even get me started with that. I'll leave that alone because when you run for public office, that's the thing about that. When you run for public office, it takes a lot of funds to run for public office, right? Okay. So since it takes a lot of funds to run for public office, either the community will have to step up or you got to start hollering them folks. And that's the bad part about it. It takes a lot of money to run for public office. Now, it may not take a lot of money to run for local, but if you live in a bigger city like this one, it's going to take a lot of money to run. Network Not Found said it. You exactly right. He said Phil can't run for mayor when he can't even give 3,000 people to support him on Patreon. That Network Not Found told the truth. She said it, not me. So don't tell me about no president or any public office. When I see that I can ask for something and then it just happens, and I know I can mobilize people to do things like this and with a slap of a finger, then it made me confident enough to say I can probably run for public office because people support me like that. And then if I do it, I would have to be on the issue that a lot of white people that agree with. Then that's why I'll have to get the white money. I was being honest. It has to be one issue white people agree with me on, and then that's where all the money will come from. The majority of it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm running for public office. Yeah, it take a lot of money. I'm not saying I'm running for public office. I'm just talking to y'all. It takes a lot of money to run for public office. he or she who has the deepest war chest wins. Unfortunately, it's wrong, but now you may have more of a shot in a smaller town to become a mayor or become something, because it don't take a lot of money to do so in a small town, but you want to make a big impact. But that's what they do. That's what they do. You say they'll attack you for listening to Bun B and Pimp C as a teenager. Oh, I did that already. Yeah, network not found. You telling the truth. That's why I'm not even repeating anything. You own it. It takes a lot of money to do anything. Phil from Kenya, by the way, of San Antonio. Okay. Once again, where the money going to come from to run for public office? Takes money. Some people you got to talk to that you may not want to talk to. We have a lot of people right here in Houston that would be great for mayor, in my opinion. I think because he tied in like that, I think Brother Derek would be good to do that, really, in my opinion, because he's tied in. I'm not tied in like that. If Brother Derek wanted to run for mayor, I would support that. I know about Jay Morrison and that initiative. I know all about it. Rewind the video and then you'll see what's going on. Yeah, Brother Derek. Yeah, Brother Derek, I think he'll be good for that. I talked to him about that, actually. I said, hey, Brother Derek, you ever thought about getting involved with politics? I mean, because he already tied in. So it's just like, say, it wouldn't even be nothing for him to kind of go that route. Like, shoot, if he needs some help from me or anything, I support him. Nah, I do better doing what I'm doing. I don't see myself as like being in politics like that, because they'll kick me out, because I couldn't put up with that. I couldn't put up with no, like, if I was a senator, some old Mitch McConnell telling me to be quiet or talking crazy, because I told him by himself. I would have called him out about them Confederate flags and everything else. They're like, you can't be talking that way. You're like, man, forget y'all. You know, like I'll be too killmonger with it. So that's why I say they probably kick me out. Oh, you say, oh, okay. Well, hey, let them do that. But yeah, they you know, like I said, well, that's Glenn Bell. That comes with the territory, sister. I mean, they're gonna talk about you. They're gonna talk about you from one end to another. They're gonna talk about you if you do what they agree with. Oh, Sister Sadia, I talked to her, I think maybe a few weeks ago. She's actually in school right now, and she's working on some things in school, and she got a particular scholarship, so she's going back and forth. She's traveling, and she spent a lot of time at school doing that. So I get why her time kind of been bound up, but I'm gonna call her this week and see you next time she'll be in the town. Oh yeah, you know, you talking about Sister Sadia. I mean, like they was, you know, saying things about her, talking about she's mixed, she's this, she's that. Like seriously, you know, that's another thing about black folks today. You don't even know black people when you see them. At least in my grandmother's time, they used to know black people. It don't matter, you know, Sister Sadia's color, darker or whatever. They could look at you and tell you were black or not. They knew. The color wasn't a thing. These are certain things they knew. Them old people used to just say, listen to the voice. You hearing the voice. You know that's what they are. So you hear the black in them. They know how to call that. They would know. Them old people would be a DNA test before DNA test came. All you had to do, you had a baby with a female, bring her to Big Mama. Big Mama look at that baby and tell you if that baby yours or not. And Big Mama was always right. That Big Mama would know before that DNA test came. Some of y'all old enough to know about Big Mama and what she used to do. Let me see that baby. First thing they say, let me see that baby. They look at that baby. And if that baby ain't not the family, they say, son, that baby ain't yours. I don't see nothing in this baby as of this family. I mean, they would look at the features of that baby and know a baby. And then they would know, like, once hey, my kid, like, yeah, that's your kid. I'm gonna tell you why. And they'll tell you what this part of the eyes from Uncle so-and-so and the nose come from your grandpa so-and-so. Like they break down all the features of that baby and tell you where it come from. And this part come from that girl that you had the baby with. But now all this, no, that's the family, right? Like they knew. They knew. That's why I love the old people, man. I'm so glad I was fortunate enough to be around my great grandfather, both my grandfathers and my grandmothers. I am so fortunate that they had an impact on my life. I feel bad for black people that didn't have that. They had that generation to talk to you, that generation to instill things in you and converse with you and talk to you about how it was for them growing up. And it just, like I said, it was such a blessing to have that, and how important family was to them. And you know, you talk about the situation like with the women and the men today. When it came to the women and the men was so much better back in that time period. Like the women, it wasn't none of this stuff you hear today. You know, women were modest. Women cooked, women cleaned, women took care of the house. It wasn't all that cussing and fussing and all that other stuff. You know, they respected their husbands. And then at the same time, the men, you wouldn't have to tell no man to go get a job. You wouldn't have to worry about no man leaving you with a bunch of kids. And now you stuck to take care of your child. The men would stay there and take care of his children, no matter how many children they would have. And a lot of times this black man had only one income and would take care of 7, 8 children. And they stayed together. They may not have everything, but they stayed together. And I remember, you know, like Mama Frida and God bless her soul. Oh, I miss Mama Frida so much. I remember Mama Frida and Aunt Bay and all the ones like that. My grandpa, my great grandpa, you know, my great grandpa was a Methodist preacher. And he preached for a long time until he retired and everything. And like I said, I spent a lot of time with them and the things that they believed in. You know, it's just, like I said, we don't have that today. It's like night and day with black folks. It's like black folks have literally turned into white people. Literally. The things that I remember they would say, you know, this is what we do. We don't do what the white people do. White people do this and white people do that. Not black folks that literally turned into white people. There's certain things that white people would do. Black people like, oh, well, you already know white. Somebody white did that. Because black folks wouldn't do anything that they would do. Now black folks have literally turned into white folks. Literally. Can't stay together, fighting, murdering. All the things that they would do, we used to hear that was just heinous. Now that's us. That's black folks. You're right. You didn't have to be a baller to maintain a family. And you didn't have the women trying to go up there and buy all the design of this and the design of that. You didn't have the men that wanted designer this and designer that. They was happy with as long as they had some clothes on it, a roof over their head, food on the table, home cooked food, and the older people would grow their own food. My grandfather, he grew okra, he grew onion, jalapeno, and watermelon. He grew that. Those 4 things. And every summer we had fresh everything. And what they didn't have, they traded with other people. Some people had chickens across the way. You can get eggs. My grandmother used to make the fig preserves. It was so good from the fig tree the other neighbor had. I mean, like, everybody would trade tomatoes, all this other stuff, So my grandfather said, "Yeah, let's go pick." He would have me help him. Let's go pick this okra because I'm gonna give it to Mr. So and so, and he gonna trade with me, some of the tomatoes that he got, so we can have tomatoes and fresh tomatoes off the vine, and that's how they used to do it. They wasn't even exchanging the money; it was just a barter system. They used to come over. Hey, you got this tool? I need this tool to fix something on my house, and then they come back and bring back the tool. And if you need something from them, you can go over there and ask. It wasn't all this. What he doing in my house? It wasn't none of that when I was growing up. Back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing how black people have literally just turned into a nightmare now compared to that. Like, that was black people to me. Today's not black people. It is not. Now, maybe some of y'all grew up different, but I grew up in the South. So I'm just used to seeing the hospitality. I remember every Sunday, everybody would go to church. And then come home, everybody be at the house on Sunday. All the kids, all the adults, everybody would meet up at the house once a week. You saw the whole family, at least every Sunday. And then you had a family reunion every summer. I can't remember the last time we had a family reunion. My dad and them do it, still here and there. But like when we had the huge ones, I can't remember the last time I went to one. Like, do y'all do family reunions anymore? Because we used to do that. That was like a big thing every summer. Family reunion. You had your T-shirts and all the food and the games and talking and meet, family you ain't seen, and like this. That's what we always did as black people. And today we don't do crap. But that's why we're going crazy, because we are not who we are. We are people that need our family. We need to get together and family reunion and eating at the house with the kids, and actually cooking at home with your hands, not going to freaking McDonald's and letting them feed you in a bag like you a dog. You give dogs food in a bag. The food was made with love. You know what I'm saying? Cooking and enjoying. The men would be out there, would do the barbecue or whatever is outside, or the men would boil the crawfish or boil the shrimp or whatever, the outside stuff. The women would do all things in the inside. We always had gender roles in our community, and it worked out very well. Now you got these females in our community preaching that white feminism crap. Black people have never had problems in our relationships. Nothing. Family reunion was awesome. Oh, that was awesome. Like I said, everybody, we so worried about making money. We so worried about hot dicking and all this other stuff we worrying about now, and wearing designer clothes, and we have no family. We have nothing anymore as black people. That's why we lost. You talking about, you saying you Hebrew Israelite, you Moor, you're this. No, we lost our family structure. We have got away from who we are. And a lot of what we were doing was actually more African culture. If you study it, that's African culture. And when we got away from our true African culture and took on the culture that's colonized, because that's exactly what we have done, that's why we screwed up. Whatever worked, that's their culture. They don't work for us. Yeah, Big Mama put her foot in everything. She sure did. And she had the respect from everybody. It was a point in time in our community that no dude would pick up his hand and hit no woman in our community, or no girl. If he picked up his hand to hit a girl or a woman, man, the whole squad coming out. The brothers, the cousins, the daddy, the grandpa, man, you getting jumped. You don't put your hand on no female. Like, everybody knew that. You don't touch a woman or a girl with your hand as a guy. We'll have that no more. The girls and women aren't protected anymore like they used to be at one point in time. Well, you say the white women thing, that's always been around here and there. It isn't like it used to. It's more so now than what it was when I was growing up. But we still never treated, even when they came around, somebody probably had a white husband or a white wife. We still didn't treat them bad. Like we like if they were married to the family and they weren't doing nothing wrong, we treat them with respect. Black people have always been the most loving and open people to whatever group has ever been that came into the family. So, okay, you married with them or whatever. Okay, you welcome to the family. You know, hey, it's food over here, and this is so and so. This, you know, like that. Nobody's never been rude and mean. But it wasn't always like that. Okay. It's like I say, it's sickening, Glenn Bill. It's sickening to a man should never hit a woman should never hit a man. That just lines that should never be crossed. I didn't grow up seeing that. Now, did they argue? Yes. Oh yeah, I mean my grandmother and them would get into it. He would tell her. I never forget that. He'd be like, look, that's enough now. He said, he that's all thing he'll say, and she'll shut that down. She'll shut it down real quick, and he'll go do his thing or whatever. Today, let a man tell a woman that in general, hey, that's enough. What you mean that's enough? Who you think you talking to? Like, I'm telling you, I've seen it in my own two eyes. Well, like what go down? They would argue, but when he say that's enough, cut it off, it's cut off. And they knew when to cut it off. And there wasn't no beating going on or nothing like that. It was just a respect thing. But how could you not respect them when they're providing a home to live in, a home, not an apartment, a home to live in? Always provided cars, always kept clothes on the family's back, always kept food on the table. And my grandfather, he always had money. He never was without money. Like if something broke in the house or whatever, he would be like, oh man, this expensive repair gonna happen. Nope. He'll go right up. He had this little cabinet at the top and he'd keep a lock on it. I remember when I was a kid, he'd tell me, say, hey, Phil, you get a man, he get you one of these. He said, you don't let the women in your business. You keep it up there. And that way, cause you let the women have all your money, they gonna spend it all. So that's why you got to put some money up here. You got to save some money. So he used to keep his money up there. He used to keep his pistol up there. That's what he used to keep up there. And I remember one time he had like he had to get a whole, what's the word I'm looking for? The electrical. He had to get a whole meter changed, and dude told him like $400. Now my grandfather always penny pinching. I ain't got no money. XYZ. He always complain he ain't got no money. Well, it came to repairs. He always had money. And I'd be like, Papa, I thought you didn't have no money. That's what we called him. He said, I don't have no money. I had to fix that, but I still ain't got no money. Like, he had so much money stashed up there when he passed away. It was like, shh. But he kept money. He ain't gonna blow his money. We used to, grits. Yeah, we used to grow up eating grits and eggs, homemade biscuits. Homemade sausage. I mean, so many things we used to do. Everything was homemade. And you talking about, okay, you said, white daddy. Okay. That was a no. You don't call white people in your business. That's like that. We would, I know we grew up that way. Keep them white folks out of our business. Don't tell them white folks nothing. Don't you call no white folks to come over here, no police or whatever. That was a big thing. Keep white people out your business. Because the reason was, if you bring that white man over here, now we ain't in control of it no more. But I don't care if you duke it out and fight. You don't call no white people over here. Call no police. For what? This issue is a family issue. Well, today we quick to call the police as black people. That's all we want to do. We call the police as black people, then them same police come out there and kill us when we made the phone call. How many times have black people been killed calling the police for a family dispute? Man, y'all better deal with that family dispute. Y'all better duke it out or whatever y'all gonna do and get over it and hug each other and move on. I told my kids that I don't believe in calling them white folks for no reason. Like for what? What they gonna do for you? That's why you practice your Second Amendment rights. What are they gonna do? You got a crime in progress. They're not gonna get there to save you. All right, dude. Now you're getting on my nerves. Because when you keep repeating the same thing, now you're trolling. Let's get on my last good nerve. You got to go. What was the end result? The guy in the video? Well, I guess he gonna make a report. But it ain't about the mayonnaise patrol. It ain't about the mayonnaise patrol. It's about us, man. We have fallen so far away from who we really are. I mean, that's like I said, we need to introduce some African culture just to get ourselves back in line. But man, it's like, a lot of us are just screwed up. We are just so screwed up. We so full of negativity. So much full of negativity. We full of hate. For each other. We full of self-hate. I mean, we find any little reason to destroy another black person or support the destruction of black people. We even look forward to the deaths of black people. Yeah. We look forward to the deaths of black people. We say a lot of things online that don't make sense and have no real world applications to justify some things that to sound good. There's no common sense. But something that's disturbing, that's very, very disturbing to me. And I keep hearing this point made. If you're talking about someone's money, you're talking about a man or a woman and in our community, and you're saying that at their death, their money is going to go so and so and so and so. Listen to that topic. I need to talk about that. First of all, why do you want to put somebody into the ground and focus on somebody else's money? Why do we do that in the black community about pocket watching somebody and worrying about what they're doing? Reality state. I know black people who have no children. I know black people that never got married. I know black people who have black husbands, black wives, or black people that have husbands and wives of other groups. And I've known some of them that have died. Now, let me talk about the black people who have died and had black spouses and black whatever. I've seen it, and some of y'all seen it too. Grandpa died. Grandpa had grandma, black woman, leave stuff for the children. Left businesses. And what do they do with the land and businesses? They sell it. Grandpa worked all his life for this land. A black man obtained land in this country, of all things for you to obtain. Very, very hard to do. And you sell grandpa's land. You sell grandpa's business. And what hands it go into? The white community. But yet this black man left it to y'all to keep it in the hands of his black family. And anytime someone dies, nothing you have is community property. It is, for instance, you have a life insurance policy or a trust. You say it goes X amount of percent goes to my children. X amount of percent goes to your spouse. nothing goes to the community itself. It goes to your children. It goes to that's real world application I'm talking about here. No matter what race you are, your money goes to your children, goes to your spouse. Period. That's where it go. It don't go to the community it represents. Now, you want to talk about where your money going now, the majority of everybody's money going into the hands of white people. All of it. Every single day you're spending money on white people. It's kind of hard not to, the way the system's set up. You don't have a black equivalent of a light company that had the lights on right now. I don't know no black light company. Don't know one. You don't have no ISPs that's black owned. Or you can get internet. This is an example. That's two main things that we're using right now to do this stream. My thing is, I want people to do things while they're alive and help the community while they're alive. Stop trying to focus on somebody else's money when they die. Make your own money. What are you trying to put somebody in the ground for? I mean, that's the stupidity that people say on the internet, and they run with that and say that's actually legitimate. That's negativity. I don't want to see black people die. I want them to live, do good things. I never heard old people saying that. Well, when so-and-so dies, they money go like, that's how it's like you have become so materialistic and capitalistic. It's horrible. That's white folks. Well, I'm waiting for them to die because I'm gonna get X amount of money when they die. That's what I'm talking about. What happened to y'all? Money, money, money. And then when you get it, you don't keep it. It runs through your hand like water. But you waiting on somebody to die or talking about if somebody died, their money gonna go here. That's why I say y'all can't listen to some people talking that mess on because it has no real world application. That's not the way it really works. Like I said, once again, when it comes to insurance, life insurance, when it comes to trust funds or whatever, nothing is community property unless the person says, okay, I want to give X amount of dollars to this particular foundation because I know this foundation is going to help the black community. And you can set up parameters that says, okay, this foundation, I want you to build some schools for black people, and you got to do it in this amount of time to get these funds, get it happen. Okay, at that person's death, that's what they chose to do to help the community. But if they didn't choose to do that, no money you have is community property, no matter who you are. If you got a life insurance policy right now, show me on your life insurance policy where your money is community property. And then when it's community property, who's going to get the money? Who? It has no names on it. If it's community property, anybody can just take what you work for. So what's going to happen with your children? What's going to happen with your whatever you got? I mean, that I don't know. It just frustrates me when people just talk sometime on the internet and it don't have no real world application. I'm not going to be on here trying to talk to you guys about things that you cannot apply into the real world. It's wrong to get on the internet talking to you constantly about things that you can't take and apply into the real world. That's completely wrong. To do that to you. I don't want nobody telling me things I can't apply. Yeah, everything's about do we need money in capital? Yes. To make moves? Yes. But don't be so obsessive with money that you want people to die or worry about when people die what it's going to happen with their money. Worry about what's going to happen to yours. That's sick. I ain't grew up with black people talking about money all the time. The most thing that black people would do, I remember that. The grandma would have her car, grandpa would have his car, but they would have a Cadillac in the garage. Cadillac was the black man Mercedes. The Cadillac be in the garage. You only pull a Cadillac out on Sunday to go to church, or the Cadillac come out when you go out of town. That's it. Other than that, you just had your regular car. And that, I mean, your regular 2 cars. But now we so materialistic, you know. You said money get on your nerves, Veronica. Yeah, I agree with you. Money. I mean, like I said, we need money to live. I get it. We gotta have it. I understand that. We have to have it, but it's not your life. It's not your life. Well, that's good. That's good if your grandma did that, because black folks, they just sell the land and don't even care. I wouldn't even feel right if my dad left me some land or left me something and I'm just gonna sell it. Can't do that. Sell it for what? It left it to you to build on. You said AMC Rambler, then of course the Cadillac. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I've been up with you guys talking a little while for sure. Make sure, guys, that you click the subscribe button if you're for your first time visiting. The like button. We probably be back on maybe about 11 in the morning. I was supposed to be interviewing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I did a story last year about a preacher, and this preacher got caught in bed with another man's wife, and I don't know. I did this story in February of last year, and the husband had him running out the house, bucket naked, right? So I did the story. He put up, that he, the little pimp stuff they use about forgiveness and not judging him, XYZ. Well, what ended up happening the other day, I get a message in Facebook, and I rarely go on Facebook, but something told me just go check my messages. I had a message from a woman, and she told me that she saw my video from old boy from last year or so. And she said she wanted to talk to me about, a situation with him. So I said, okay. So I wrote back and said, what's going on? And so she said, yeah, he's still up to the same thing he was doing before. And I said, really? I said, even after all that attention from the media and he's still doing that crap? And he's like, yeah. And said, I got proof, that he was doing this. And I'm like, well, how you have proof? I mean, what you have proof with? He said, no, it's pictures and text that I know, I have access to. So I thought about it. I asked her, I said, is this relating to you? And she was like, yeah. And she said, but I want to talk to you about it. It's a long story. So I talked to her about it. And, she seems cool, but she wants to talk about it, and I warned her ahead of time. I said, look, I'm not cutting you no slack if I talk to you. I said, because you ain't got no clean hands either. So, if everything go right, you guys will see that tomorrow morning live. So that'll be interesting. You know how I feel about the churches, these black preachers. Ain't nothing, a lot of them, not just them, it's many of them, it's all of them. A lot of them are, not all, because some of them do the right thing. But a lot of them, these pimps, they out here sleeping with people's wives. And if I find out about it, I'm all for exposing it. I have no problem exposing preachers. I love doing that. That's one of my favorite things to do. So, I don't understand. Like I said, I don't understand all that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. If that goes down, then I'll be back live again sometime maybe around close to 11 a.m. Central Time. So see you then if possible.